guys? Welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do the final update to a very popular story, which was titled, "My girlfriend wanted to do a wild girls weekend in Florida, so I ended with her and she freaked out." And guys, ordinarily when I do these stories, they're usually about 3 stories, a trilogy if you will, and that's that. However, this guy emailed me and wanted to fill me in on his big decision that he made, which he was debating at the end of the previous, what was supposed to be the final episode here. So because this guy's story is so popular and you guys enjoyed it, I'm going to do this here this one time. So this is the final update to this guy's story. But as a quick recap, this is all about the guy who in a relationship with a girl for 3 years. Everything was going great. He really intended to marry her because he was a relationship guy. No problems, but she had 2 a-hole friends, 2 carousel riding friends who didn't like him and didn't like that she was settling, or shall I say getting serious. And she wanted to do a wild girls weekend in Florida, which he immediately just ended the relationship with her right then and there because he knew that's trouble. He'd been cheating on a couple times in previous relationships, that type of bullshit going on. Wasn't having it. And of course, she had a meltdown and begged him to give her a second chance. But he said, look, we're not in the same place anymore. It's not going to work. That's it. And for 2 years, his mom and sister were guilt-tripping him over this and all that. And then the future videos, pretty much, he found out that his mom had been meeting with her for 2 years, filling her head up with all this bullshit that actually it's not really a breakup, and he's figuring things out and just manipulating things, orchestrating bullshit, all because the mother wanted him to marry her so she could be the mother of the groom and have the wedding, and she sent out invitations to all her friends and all this other stuff like that. The sister was kind of the same page. Bunch of bullshit. And this guy discovered real quick he can't trust his mom, that she's a liar, she's a manipulator. His sister's the same way. Discovered that the mother cheated on the dad, which he didn't know about, and his mother is just pretty much the female equivalent to the Emperor from Return of the Jedi. Okay, she's Miss Palpatine, Miss Sidious, if you will. And he ended it with pretty much saying that that's it, it's done. And he had met with the ex-girlfriend, and because they tried to get her to come over and meet with him in a final confrontation with them, because he said either her or me. Then he found out what she was really doing. There's so much information here, guys. I got to cut it short. But anyhow, so he met with his ex. He hadn't seen her in years. And they went out to dinner, and she filled him in on all the bullshit that was going on. The mother was telling her and feeding her, because the mother was lying through her teeth to her, too. And pretty much he was questioning, do you think I ought to give her another chance? Do you think after all these years, and she can see that, I don't want to get married anymore, it's not going to happen, I'm going to have a vasectomy, blah, 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 she really pretty much will do anything to be with me, should I do it? And I gave my opinion on the subject. I said pretty much move on, and I had my reasons for that. And you guys were commenting in the comment sections. A majority of you said no, move on, but there are plenty of you guys saying, you know what, you had a good thing going, give her a shot. If it doesn't work out, you can always walk away because, what you did that before. And she knows it. So I'm going to provide with an update about everything else that he decided and go from there. And let me tell you guys, this decision will have you guys typing away in the comments section. That I can assure you. So he starts off. He says, "Hey SSM, I'm the guy who sent my story, blah blah blah, about the girlfriend. I know I said in my last email that was my last update, and it pretty much was. I'm sending you this in particular to give you my final update, since you were kind enough to share my story and allow your subscribers to offer their advice, and I didn't want to leave you all hanging. It was very helpful and helped me to see my situation from more angles than I thought were possible. For that, I'll be eternally grateful to you and your community. As someone said in the comments, it was a hell of a lot cheaper than paying for a counselor." I actually saw that comment. Of all the comments I scrolled through, I remember that comment. You know who you are who wrote that. Yeah, these stories almost are like therapy. He says, "First, the last question you were asking about is if I was the youngest in my family. Yes and no. My father has another son that's younger than me, but he lives around my dad, and we don't really have a relationship. He was from a lady that he met after my mom." So in other words, you are the youngest. You are the youngest. You are your mother's youngest child, and you are obviously the younger between you and your sister. I had a theory that you were the youngest, which is why your mom was treating you the way she was, had that I know better attitude, while your sister treated you the way she did. So it makes perfect sense that you are the youngest of that family. Now on to what I've decided to do with my life. As far as my mom and sister are concerned, they're both dead to me. I can tolerate a lot of things, but I will not. But they went too far using me as a tool to manipulate another person. If it had just been them manipulating me, I would have been angry, but I wouldn't have cut them out of my life. I can forgive a lot of things, but the only way I describe what they've done is pure evil. Yeah, and I'm not going to get into all the details. For you guys that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about here. And if you haven't seen it, you guys can watch all the videos. I'll post a link in the description. And I told him, cut her out of his life. She's done. She's trash. She's evil. She's the female emperor. I talked to my dad several times since I sent my last update, and I decided to move to where he's at. He runs his own business, and he has agreed to hire me for as long as I want to work with him or decide to get another job. I'm an accountant by trade, so either way will work for me. I'm not going to lie, I think it's going to be interesting getting to know my dad better now that I understand a little bit of what my mom had put him through. He's pretty excited to have me join him, and I think after finding everything out that's been going on, it's a good time to reevaluate my life and where I want to go from here. Dude, that's great that you're going to connect with your old man, because you've been connected with the wrong parent all this time, you know? So that's really great. One door closes, another one opens. Says, I've talked to Sarah 2 more times since we had dinner. Sarah is the ex. The first time we talked on the phone and she filled me in on more of the things my mom was telling her over the last year and a half. If I felt sick before, now I think I might have been mistakenly swapped at the hospital when I was born. I cannot believe that I share the same genetics with that woman. It was after talking to her a second time that I made my final decision to move and cut the woman out of my life forever. Even if I did have kids, and I have no intention of having any, they would never meet her for fear of her rubbing off on them. But before I tell you about the second time I talked to Sarah, I want to tell you what my sister did after I told my mom that we were done and I blocked them. Now listen to this. This is freaking crazy. My sister came to my house and tried to play the mediator between my mom and me, but I made it clear to her that she was also cut out of my life. To say she went crazy was the understatement of the year. It got bad enough that I had to call the police after she started breaking things in my house and gave me a nice scratch from her claws on the side of my face. Dude, what the hell? Freaking psycho. I should have pressed charges for assault, but I'll give her this one. I wouldn't. I'd press charges. Fuck her. I filed for a restraining order against both of them. The next time I plan on seeing them either will be at their funerals, but I'm afraid even death won't want them. But for my mom and sister, I'm 100%. I'm done 1,000%. There you go. Well, newsflash, bro. They're still going to try to come back in your life, guarantee it. Back to Sarah. We met for lunch yesterday, the day after Valentine's Day, and had a talk. I smell trouble. I'm sure that if you share this with your community, they'll be howling like lunatics, but like I said before, I'm a fairly low confrontational guy, and I like to get as much information as I can before I make lasting decisions. I read all of the comments, and I mean all of them were on all of the 3 videos. Well, those videos were extremely popular, so you probably are looking at 2,000 comments at least. It took a while, and I can see the vast majority of the posters were advising me to move on. There were a few that said I should give her a second chance, and then there were the others that said I was an idiot either way. That's YouTube for you, bro. I can accept all the praise and criticism and probably deserve most of it. In the end, it's still my decision to make, and I need to be sure that I was making the right decision for my own life. I know my boundaries, and I think I've already established to Sarah that I'm serious about them. Here we go. When we met for lunch, I had 3 questions I needed an answer from her. Number 1, when we were on our so-called break, was she seeing anyone else? Number 2, what were her long-term goals with a relationship with me? And number 3, can I look at your phone? For the first one, she said that she'd been with one guy about a month and a half after I broke up with her, but nobody since then. Considering I've been with 4 women since then we've been apart, if she was telling me the truth, it's not like I could blame her. I don't know about that one guy thing here, but you were broken up after all, and it's been years. For the second question, she wants to be my partner and grow old together. I told her again that no matter what it is with her or another woman, I'm never going to get married, and she still says that's okay with that. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Only time will tell on something like that. Either way, like I said many times before, women control who they sleep with, men control who they'll be in a relationship with. Yes, in other words, yes, women have they hold the keys to the bedroom, men hold the keys to relationships. But I just want to make a comment here about the whole she's okay with never getting married thing. Bullshit. I'm telling you right now, bro, she wants you back. We can. That's 100% established here. She wants you back, and you've done a very good job in the sense that, let's say you take her back, she knows darn well that if she crosses you, she's toast. Okay, you've demonstrated that through your actions, and that's good. And I always say, you always want to have a woman know that if she crosses you, you're out of there. You're gone. No attachments. You can replace her like that if you want to, or just leave because you don't need her. You're your own man with your own life, and that's good. And she knows that, so that's good. But the whole, oh, she's cool with not getting married one day. No. What's going to probably happen is if you get back together, and believe me, she's on her best behavior. But over time, hints are going to start coming about, and different ways to come at you to try to get you to change your mind. Believe me. And if you don't think I'm serious, just watch, okay? So you're going to have to remain strong if that's the path you choose to take. But she's going to try to get you to change your mind. It could take years, but she's going to keep trying. For the third question, she unlocked and handed me her phone without hesitation. I looked through all her apps and social media. What I was looking for were apps like Tinder and WhatsApp and other dating apps. There weren't any. I checked her Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and a few others looking to see who her friends were. I wanted to see if she was still in contact with the Pit Vipers or other men. She had the Pit Vipers blocked and everything, including their phone numbers on her phone, and the only men she had contacts were her dad and brother. The Pit Vipers are her two friends that got her into trouble to begin with. Professional carousel riders. And supposedly she cut them off completely out of her life. That was mentioned in the previous video. As far as I can tell, she's been alone for the last year and a half, but I guess she could have been a super genius and guessed I would want to check her phone. You have to anticipate that, man. Remember, always looking for red flags. She could have anticipated that. And you need to always be aware of that. I doubt it, but who knows? If she would have any of those apps on her phone, she would never have seen me again. So the question I was left with, after looking at all the advice from your posters, was this. How would being in a new relationship with Sarah be better or worse than with a completely unknown woman? Sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. True, but why do you want to be with the devil to begin with? But ultimately, it's your life. I expressed my opinion in the last video, what I think you should and should not do, but at the end of the day, it's your life. And I know, because believe me, I didn't read every comment that comes. There's no way I could possibly read every comment that comes through. All 800 freaking videos I have in circulation every day. But I saw a lot of comments from your videos, and most dudes were in the opinion like me that just move on. You don't have to have issues with her, but just the past is the past, move on, But there are a lot of dudes that thought, hey, you know what? If there's anybody to give a second chance, it's her because, you had a great thing going. And obviously in the last 2 years, she's dead serious. She knows you're not going to get married and seems genuinely sorry, blah, 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 blah. So, but ultimately it is your choice. He says, one point that you made about my mom winning if I took her back is irrelevant. My mom is out of my life. The door is closed and locked. I don't care if she's happy or sad or angry. My mom is a non-factor for my future. Well, if you cut her off, you cut her off. But she's still going to have the satisfaction that she knows best. And therefore, because, let's just say you get back with this girl, which sounds like you're going to do, your mom may see that as, hey, I was right. Everything I did was justified. And therefore, even though he says he doesn't want to talk to me, I'm his mother. I know better. I'm going to reach out to him and bug the shit out of him because if he caved and went back to her, well, he may go back on his word to me, and so she'll be bugging. So your mom's going to be bugging you. So that'll be testing your resolve, my friend. I'm telling you right now. A lot of posters are talking about body count like that's even a factor in today's day and age. If you're with a woman older than 20 and you think she's only been with one or two guys, you're delusional. I agree with that. Hell, in the modern age, I would have my doubts with a nun. If Sarah was being honest with me, I know more about her history than I would be a complete stranger, but I'm not under any illusions that a man will ever know the full history of any woman. It is what it is. Yeah, most gals have skeletons in their closet, and some have Arlington National Cemetery of skeletons in their closet. Welcome to today's modern gals. And so, keep that in mind. Anyway, when I saw that she didn't have any other comment common apps on her phone that most women use for free male validation and hookups, I decided to give her a chance under a few more restrictions. First, we'll be going to couples counseling. I can only imagine what my mom did caused some serious damage for her and me. Maybe we'll find through counseling that the best we can do is say goodbye. We'll see. Okay. Second, which could also be a first, I made it perfectly clear that if I see anything, and I mean anything, that gives me a pause in her behaviors, she's gone. I told her she wants to be in a relationship with me. It's going to be a benevolent dictatorship, and she could take it or leave it. I'm fine either way. Good. Now, obviously, you're making this decision, so let's just address the reality here. Yes, you need to make it abundantly clear that, essentially, as you say, a benevolent dictatorship. It is your way or the highway. You're the leader of the relationship. You call the shots. And I don't mean you being mean all the time, but you get my point. And she knows, through the experience, that she crosses you, whoosh, she's out of there with her luggage in the front of the house. And again, doesn't mean you're being a jerk all the time, but that means pulling any BS that you don't approve of, and you get my point there. She has to know you're willing to walk away and be gone forever. And since she lost you once, I'm going to guess she'll be on her best behavior for a long time. And I can't help myself but say what I'm about to say. This certainly gives you the ultimate opportunity that every freaky fucked up thing you ever wanted to have done in the bedroom, you got a golden opportunity right now to get that. So enjoy every minute of it, man. He says, continues, third, if I tell her that I don't like one of her friends because of their behavior, their words, or just a gut feeling, she can choose them or me, but she can't have both. We've already been down that road, and we see how it worked out. Yeah, as I say always, guys, with the girls and their friends. That says everything. From their previous relationship with her friends are a bunch of professional carousel riders, pieces of garbage, walking wastes of life. And saw how that went. She should have cut them off. Now he knows. So she starts hanging out with girls like that, and he recognizes that, hey, me or them, end of story. Because they brought nothing to her life. In fact, they're the reason they broke up. She's the reason they broke up, but they definitely had a hand in it. And finally, all my previous boundaries are still in place. She agreed. In the end, I have nothing to lose but a little time and that I wasn't doing anything with anyone. Anyway, since I'm not getting married to anyone or having kids, that time is irrelevant. Well, time is always valuable, guys, because guess what? We only have so much time before our number's up, and we don't know when our number's up. So I'm going to go back on that and say, no, your time is important. But at the end of the day, it's your life. 100%, you're a grown-ass man. You can make your choices. And I'll give you a few more tips at the end of this video. I told her my plans to move to where my dad is, and she's willing to drop everything and everyone in her life to follow me, with the understanding that if she steps a toe out of line, I'll boot her out of my life and never look back. Unfortunately, that is just how it has to be. They gotta know. And that's good. You're doing what you want to do. Okay, here's the deal. I'm moving down to this place, wherever that may be, near my dad, and getting a new job. That's that. And I'll be choosing the place where I live. You're welcome to join me. It's not going to be, well, I'll think about it. No, this is where I'm going. If you want to be with me, this is where you go. The man leads. She already knows I dropped her without a second thought, simply for suggesting that trip to Florida. I think she believes me. She believes you. So for all those saying I'm a simp for taking her back, maybe I am, but I know my boundaries and I have no problem enforcing them. I'll never shield away from the fact that I'm a relationship guy. After all my experiences and information from channels like yours, I have a much better understanding of women and female nature and of myself. Maybe things will work out with Sarah, and maybe they won't. Time will tell. In either case, I'm not going to stop living because of some bad experiences. Everything in life comes with inherent risk. That includes women, but that's what men do. We manage risk. There's risk in everything. You could get in your car and go to the grocery store to get some eggs and get some food, whatever you get, or go down to the freaking beer distributor and get a case of beer, and you get hit by a bus, and you're done. So you never know, and there's risk in everything. Yes, but we want to we want to have it that we don't put ourselves in situations where there's really the odds are against us. You know, so yes, there's risk in everything, but just be careful, man. It says, I'm scheduled to go in tomorrow morning for my vasectomy, and after that I'll be making plans to move to where my dad is. Well, take a few days off because you're going to be sore down south for a while. So this is the end of the line. Either I'll be happy in life with Sarah, or I'll be happy in life by myself. Time will tell but in either case, I'll be happy. Right. At the end of the day, we got to make our own selves happy, guys. You can't rely on somebody else to make you happy, which a lot of people do in this world. So in closing, thank you for your time and advice, SSM. If I could, I would give you an honorary doctorate in female studies. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Dr. SSM. Well, maybe I can rebrand the channel. Instead of Strong Successful Male, just Dr. SSM. I know it's not the outcome the majority of your viewers were looking for, but such is life. There are only two possibilities. Either all of you will be right, or I will, but like any other decision, I'm responsible for the outcome of my own decisions. Good luck with your channel. I wish you and your community nothing but the best. Thanks for your time and consideration. Well, bro, that was quite a story you have shared with us. Hands down, your saga was probably one of the best ones I've ever covered. And I really enjoyed it, and believe me, plenty of the guys out there did. Now, since obviously you're giving her another chance and you're obviously going to go through with this, I said my piece last time. I said it partially in this video, so it is what it is. Like I said, so to help you have success, and I do hope you have success, because it would be nice that one of these stories, things go all right. And better than all right, great. Really. But sadly, all these stories I get, the majority of them are just it's hell. It's a big mess, and there's no going back. So my recommendation is like I said before, is she needs to know. She crosses you, she pulls any BS, things that are deal breakers for you, you're out of there. It's the most important thing. Because when women have certainty that their guy isn't going anywhere, that's when bullshit arises. And I know a lot of you guys know this from life experience. That's why they need to know that even though you may care about them deeply, that if you love yourself more, and that's what you got to do, guys. You got to love yourself more than anyone. Because if not, then they're going to think, oh, I can get away with this, get away with that. When women lose respect for you, that's when they stop loving you. Women cannot love a guy they don't respect. I'm telling you now. And they're always going to test. They're always going to test those boundaries and test those barriers, just like little kids. Those little kids are always testing the authority figures, whether it be their parents, their grandparents, teachers at school, on the shit they can get away with. You know what I'm talking about, for you parents out there, for you teachers. And if you don't lay down the law, they'll keep testing and keep testing and keep testing. Notice when you were kids, you usually had the one parent that you don't mess with because they didn't take any shit, usually the dad. And the one that you could get away with, the mom. In my house, I knew I couldn't go shit with my dad, so I didn't test him. I tested my mom all the time because it would take a lot to get her to, raise the riot act with me. But anyhow, women are like that. So you have to stand firm with what, she crosses the line, you're out of there. But like I said with the whole marriage thing, if you think that she's going to let this go and not want to be married one day, I'm sorry, bro. She's going to try to change your mind. It may take a few years, but in the back of that mind, she's going to be thinking wedding bells and a ring. So you need to be prepared to have your eyes open for that type of thing, and you got to stand firm. No, no, no. Because you don't need that. I don't want these things happen to you. But I wish you the best, bro. Have a good time of your life, rebuilding where you're going. Because you obviously are going down this route, giving Sarah a second chance, your mom's going to feel like everything she's done was justified. And you'll be hearing from Mommy Dearest again, mark my words. Okay? She ain't going to give up. And you got to stand firm and stand strong. Because again, by you getting back with Sarah is going to show, oh, well, maybe my son will give me a second chance. Or... you get my point. So don't let it happen. Your mom and your sister, especially Miss Claw Your Face, they got to stay out of it. Have a relationship with your old man and go from there. But again, this is not the decision I would have done. I'm a person that always moves forward. I don't go back to the past, but everybody's different. It is your life. A lot of guys on here are going to be typing away right now as I speak and just losing their shit. You can expect that, but I wish you the best, bro. And as Han Solo said in Return of the Jedi, good luck. You're going to need it. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me just think about this. I'm sure you guys will be commenting away and having a good old time doing that. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.